We have with us Stuart Pearce, the Chief Executive Officer of Qatar Financial Centre, one of several jurisdictions in the Middle East where the competition to become financial centres is intense indeed. In that competition, Stuart, can you start by giving us a sense of what's different about Qatar?
Well, the important thing I think to understand as to why the QFC was set up in the first place. It was not set up as a Me Too operation. It was not set up as a copycat for any other centre in the Middle East. The QFC was set up specifically to help build capacity in Qatar to support the development of the state of Qatar. As you may know, the Qatari government has instigated a very big program of diversification within the state. And one aspect of that diversification was the creation of a broader financial services sector.
At which point did they start looking at financial services as an industry that they wanted to drill deeper into, and how does this factor into the overall ambition of the country itself?
Well, if you're going to have a modern economy, if you're going to have a diversified economy, you can't do that unless you have an active financial services sector. So the QFC was set up in 2005, and the research and preparation that went into the creation of the QFC started probably in 2003. So a huge amount of research was done, and it was decided that in order to fulfill the ambitious diversification program, then financial services should be an integral part of that diversification.
Yeah, and how's that different from the thinking process that would have gone into building a financial center in Bahrain, in Kuwait, in Dubai, maybe in Abu Dhabi, and now in Saudi Arabia as well? And how do all of the different states justify wanting to be a financial center or wanting to build that as a pillar of the economy?
Well, each state would go about building a financial services sector in a different way to suit the aspirations of that state and to meet the objectives of whatever program they are setting in train to help build the economy. The different thing about the QFC and the way the government of Qatar went about it was to say that essentially what they would have is one country, two systems. So what the QFC is a legal and regulatory construct using English common law as the basis of the law, and using English as the language for that, for the financial centre, and embedding it within the domestic economy. So it is actually a unique structure. It's not an offshore entity.
Right.
It's part of the domestic economy.
But if you look at the structure of the QFC itself, it's got regulation, it's got a commercial court system, it's got a tribunal, and then it's got the authority which you head. It sounds more like a regulatory body rather than a financial services industry promotions body.
The commercial court and the regulatory tribunal are part of the Qatari judicial system, which makes it, again, unique. The regulator is, as any regulator would be, there to make sure that regulated businesses are conducted within the rule of law and within the terms of the licenses of the regulated firms. Our role is twofold. We have a regulatory function in as much as we create and exercise all of the commercial laws that the regulated and non-regulated firms within the QFC must abide with. Our other function is to provide the strategic direction of the QFC, to build a brand for the QFC, to do all of the marketing and business development, and to support firms that are licensed within the QFC. So we have a dual role, but when you put it all together, I would suggest that the QFC is a financial system. And what it's done is bring in international expertise, international standards into the market in Qatar to help build capacity.